to Mornings in Meridian. Thank you for tuning in to the two best hours of local live talk radio right here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Coming to you on 102.1 FM on the radio dial. Of course, you might have the app of WALT on your device and listening to us. Thank you for doing that. You might be listening online at WALTmeridian.com, or you're on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are. Hello, good morning out there, and hope you're having a good day. Love to hear from you. This is a great show because of you, not us. We're just here to push the buttons. I'm Roger B. Say hi to my main man from Meehan, Mr. Rob Atkinson.
Hello, sir.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Little wet out there this morning, but you know.
Was it raining when you drove in?
Yeah, little downpour out west of Meridian. So.
Well, as my wife will remind you, remember the roads are slick after it rains.
Thanks, Mom.
Did I just? Is it like just 2 minutes into the show and I threw her under the bus already? That's not right. I'm going to hear about that when I get home. I'll tell you right now.
Doghouse must be well equipped.
Oh, it's plush.
It's plush.
I've remodeled the doghouse many times. I've got it nice and comfortable now. Oh, you got a beverage holder, got your TV, got all the things you need.
Got your little blanket in there.
Blanket, comfortable chair. Yeah, all those good things. Little mini fridge,
Yeah, fully stocked.
That's it. It's Mornings in Meridian. A lot to talk about this morning, especially we have a guest we're going to be introducing here shortly. Of course, he's been on before, but he's getting closer to the race across America. And, of course, we'll be speaking with Ed Abdellan here in just a bit. But let's just kind of get started by making sure we acknowledge the people that help make this show possible. People like
Jerry and Betty Purvis and Don Lucas.
The good Purvises and the Lucases.
That's right.
Is that right, Lucases?
Yeah, Lucases. 4505 Highway 39 North of Meridian. That is Purvis Business Machines. Service, not excuses, since 1979. Of course, you can save up to 85%. That's right, 85% savings on lease return color copiers down at Purvis Business Machines. Of course, they got a beautiful showroom there at 4505 Highway 39 North. Or visit them online at gopurvis.com. And they service, rent, lease, quality name brand office devices that do everything, the all-in-one devices, and they even have those name brands that you trust like Toshiba, CopyStar, Kyocera, Hewlett-Packard, and of course got a great service department as well. And we always have to mention our good buddy Don Lucas. He does a great job down there at Purvis Business Machine. So call them today. We like to make things easy on you. I know the Purvises do as well. Their number is 601-693-COPY. That's 601-693-COPY. Service, not excuses, and not just a slogan. They live by it down there at Purvis since 1979. Go by and check out their beautiful showroom. Once again, that address is 4505 Highway 39 North in Meridian. Go by and see them at Purvis Business Machines or online at gopurvis.com.
Your Honor, today I will be tendering to the court a motion to dismiss all the charges against Mr. Scott Scheffler. The very first responsibility of a prosecutor under Rules 3.8 of the Kentucky Supreme Court rules requires that prosecutors, and I quote, refrain from prosecuting a charge that the prosecutor knows is not supported by probable cause.
Okay, there you go. That was the dismissal of all the four charges, I guess it was, that the Louisville, Kentucky Metro Police Department put against Scott Scheffler on the entrance to Valhalla as he was trying to get to his job that morning.
Yeah, it's amazing how the evidence.
I had to do that.
The evidence seemed to turn in that right direction, didn't it? So,
well, we heard all kind of from the officer being drugged by him down, thing, just all kind of stuff. But all of a sudden, the charges are dropped. Yeah. I don't know. I watched this thing. Of course, you've seen Scheffler's lawyer, and he's not against speaking in public.
No, he's not.
In fact, I dare say that he was born to speak in public. I think if Trump would hire him as his lawyer,
he'd be good.
Trump wouldn't even have to say anything. His lawyer just take care of it all out there.
He's fantastic. Scotty Scheffler got out of this. It's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, they're going to try this case. They're deliberating, but what are they going to come up with? They're not going to come up with anything, They'd be saying basically what the president said.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I mean, bottom line is the police officer Didn't have his body cam on.
No body cam.
There's no evidence there.
No good angles. They showed cameras from the pole, 600 miles away, and they showed other cameras from a reporter. But everything we saw was exactly what the attorney and everybody said about Scheffler. He was being cooperative and being, very, I guess, agreeable.
I hate to be the guy in the room, but I'm going to be the guy in the room
He's going to say it. He's going to say it.
Cue the members of the media who are going to go after Scheffler for certain reasons of why he got all of the charges dismissed.
Certain reasons.
Let's see, the Jamil Hills of the world and all of those other ones. Yeah, just do research on that one. You know what I'm talking about.
Did you just make a left turn onto White Privilege Avenue?
I didn't say nothing.
Yes, you did.
You said it.
Good morning.
That's why I said do your research. I made you say it.
Rich white privilege on Avenue.
Well, I mean, this
is
the same sports media that's going after Caitlin Clark because of her race. It's like these people are fantastic athletes. Leave that card at the front door, please. But I'm just telling you, wait for it.
If race baiting and race industry was the Titanic, we're just about to see the smokestacks, I think, go under. It's a dying industry. They're trying to keep it alive now. I mean, they're bailing. This is what the media is doing. They're bailing, in this this race baiting ship that's going down. But it's anyway. Hopefully that'll never happen because I think Scheffler was in the right.
This one was slammed.
There was the confusion, like he said. He was cooperative, like he said, and I think there was just a lot of heated. This was a very heated moment there, and as they were trying to turn the bus around and all this other kind of stuff that was going on. Of course, the loss of life and all the other. So, but I was glad to see that because I was, I'm for Scotty. I'm thinking that, and not because he's a certain color or because he's wealthy. It's because, or because he's the best golfer. It's because I think he probably in the situation did as best he could with it, and therefore the charges I think were just kind of exaggerated.
Once again, let's let the facts play out.
There you go.
Before we get to the end of the story.
Oh yeah, and the prosecution knows.
Yeah,
they
Bottom
know.
line.
Yeah, no probable cause. Yeah, we're not going to pursue that. 601-485-9191. They'll take a call here. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
And how much will he sue for?
Who sue who what?
Well, sue the officer and the city for the treatment he received.
He's not going to do that. His lawyer already said they will not pursue any litigation against the city or the police.
He sure would be entitled. And as far as this, the reason he got
I'm kind of looking at his last few wins. I don't think he needs the money.
No, he's good.
I'll just teach a law officer a lesson. Would be a more important thing about how you treat people. I mean, you get a meth head that's trying to attack somebody, and that they deserve that kind of treatment, not some guy that didn't understand your instructions. So he needs to be taught a lesson. And as far as this race baiting and who got off for what reasons, because of what color, I know a whole bunch of rioting that went on in Baltimore and everywhere else, and a whole bunch of people that got off for that. They didn't have any penalties for the illegal activities they were doing. So maybe that works that way also. But guys, I know the other day after I only got to hear part of it. I only get to hear part of the show a lot of times. But when you had Hoseman on, did y'all get a chance to ask me about the illegals they're supposed to start dumping in Mississippi? Did y'all get a chance to ask him about that?
We didn't get a chance to ask him about that one, but that's
it was kind of a weird time we had the interview because usually we have it during the 7 o'clock hour, but we went right up to the 9, and we just didn't have a lot of time.
Crowd at the top of the hour, and of course Glenn Beck takes the radio away from us at the top of the hour, and we can't fight him for that.
Well, I know that he is bound and determined to keep to not do away with the state income tax. He's not concerned about working people, but he sure don't know how we'd pay for that. But he got these giveaway programs going on, like the super ultra liberal he is. Free junior college tuition. Can y'all tell me the difference between free junior college tuition that's going to be paid by the taxpayers as opposed to student debt forgiveness? Can y'all tell me the difference in that? know?
I can't. You've done something not many people can do. You've left me speechless.
Yeah. Well, there's no difference. The taxpayers, he can't come up with giving the working man is a state free, no state income tax, but he sure can come up with another giveaway program every time he opens his mouth. I'm so sick of Delbert Hoseman, but anyway.
And well, Chuck, one thing we did talk about the income tax, I believe, Roger, and we also mentioned the grocery tax. I think he was more on board with
reduction.
Yeah, reduction.
Right.
Yeah. I don't want reduction. Yeah. These other states have done away with state income tax. When they're sitting over, of course, now I told you so. When they had what was it, $3 billion or $4 billion in surplus sitting over there, would have been the perfect time to do it. But I told you, and everybody knew, they were going to come up with enough giveaway programs to knock that money down to where it will be gone, and they won't do away with the income tax. So when you got a state sitting there with that kind of surplus, and they can't do away with your state income tax, you got a whole bunch of legislatures over there and politicians in Jackson that need to go to the House. But anyway, I'm just fired up about these people.
Fired up.
Start being dumped into this state, and nobody's talking about it.
He would probably refer that to as a federal matter, because that's probably something that it might be considered even out of the state's purview or even jurisdiction.
Well, then they doing something about it in Texas. States are doing something about having all these people dumped on them. Where's Roger Wicker? I want to get him on the phone. Let's get guests on the phone. What are they doing, if anything, to curb this? Because once it starts, it's going to be an avalanche, guys. They got nowhere to put these people. And if Mississippi sits back and keep their mouth shut, then you got the perfect place to dump them. Yep. Have them sitting next to your child in school with tuberculosis and smallpox and everything else. Not counting all the primates they bring with them, and we just sit here, and
you just got the big ears. You just got the big ears of Big Pharma there. When you start wrenching all these diseases, that'd be a good chance to run through some new vaccines.
Oh man, I tell you what, I feel sorry for our kids and grandkids. All right, thank y'all.
There you go. Appreciate that. 601-485-9191. I promise, Ed, we didn't mean to get really derailed much. We're going to get to you there, so just hang in there. To the phones we go, 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How you doing?
I wish Chuck could get fired up. I tell you what.
And if we could just get him to say what's on his mind, he calls up and just hem-haws around, doesn't get to the point.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. But hey, I'm with him on this deal up in Tunica. Why don't we send them to California? Newsom's emptying the prisons out there. We could put them. House them in the prisons out there.
Well, there's a good idea. Just kind of call them dormitories. Change the name from prisons to dorms.
Dormitories.
There you go. That might
San
work.
Quentin home for the illegals.
There you go.
Or, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll get off. I know you got a guest.
Well, no, that's fine. You are our guest too right now, so don't feel bad about that. We're glad you called in.
Do you pay your guests? Oh no, that's
Anyway. You haven't received that check I put in the mail?
I have not. But it's
happened.
just an interesting situation, an interesting world we live in today, and it's just crazy. It really is.
It is. When you start, I used to think that people talk about the good old days, they really forgot how bad they were. But I really think we had some good old days.
I've got a friend who lives in California, and I got an email yesterday, and they said that we grew up in a different era. Mm-hmm. Oh, we did, and I long to have that era back.
Yeah. Got some bad news for you.
And they were the good old days, and we just didn't realize them until the good old days got to be bad old days.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys have a great day. I just thought I'd check in.
Glad you did.
It's cloudy and raining in Chunkyville.
All right, we got the weather report from Chunky.
There we go.
So cloudy and rainy, you said.
Yeah.
Well,
y'all have a good day.
Your tomatoes will like that.
They will. My cucumbers and my squash and my. I forgot to plant them. Hold on.
Wait, better get out there. All right, it's Mornings in Meridian, 601-485-9191. We're glad you're out there. And, of course, we do have not just one guest in the studio now, but we've been joined by yet another. And so let's begin the introduction, shall we, Rob?
Let's do it.
Let's welcome to the microphone, of course, ladies first. Let's say hi to Anna Hover. Is that right?
Yep. Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I think you've been on our show before.
I have.
Yeah,
It's been a year or two.
I don't know.
But I love being back.
So you got past security twice. That's pretty cool.
I did. It might be a record.
You're doing a good job. And, of course, you're here as kind of helping publicize and draw attention to the man to your right. Let's welcome back to the microphone. He's been here a few times talking about the upcoming event. And we welcome Ed Abdullah. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you, sir?
Man, I tell you what, here you're all dressed in your riding, I don't know, you call it suit, gear. You're riding.
They call it a racing kit.
Racing kit. Yeah. He's in his racing kit, Rob.
He's in a race kit.
Race kit. Yeah. This is the good race. We can talk about good race. The point is, you are getting close to something you talked about a long time ago on this show, and that was about a year ago. You talked about a race across America.
Yes, sir. I'm ready to roll.
But
we are 12 days in a wake up.
Ed, I'm sorry, but when I talk about race across America, and you're sitting there saying, I'm ready to roll.
Ready.
That's you're not selling me. You're not you're not selling me, Ed.
It's Mississippi history. It's the race across America, but it's Mississippi history.
It is history, and explain why, Anna.
Because
that is.
Ed is the first Mississippian to attempt and going to be the first Mississippian to complete this feat.
Come on, let's give it up.
Yes.
All right.
And we're going to be the first crew from Mississippi as well. He's got a wonderful team of misfits.
I've got to really define exactly your role. You're part of the crew.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, and he's your teacher, is that right?
He was just a few years ago. Yeah. He taught me in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that? Okay.
I was like his second or third year ever to even teach. So we've been giving each other smack for maybe a couple decades.
Okay.
She was a 10th grader when I started.
And you happily advanced her. Is that what happened? No.
I worked for it.
So you had, so here you are, you're on the team, and what is your role as part of the Race for Hope? Because we'll talk about why that name is on your shirt, Race for Hope. Tell me your role as far as the team member.
Well, I'm going to have multiple roles because the crew is responsible for feeding and watering Ed while he's racing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also going as media. I represent a nonprofit, Magnolia Mouths Media. And we're going to cover and to help raise the money.
Magnolia Mouths.
Mouths, Mouths, Magnolia Mouths Media.
Yeah.
Everyone, if anyone wants to follow the race, they should follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube.
All those little ways you
All
follow
those things,
people.
yep.
Well, that's good. So you're going to be kind of publicizing as you go, as well as assisting with the watering and the feeding.
Taking care of Ed.
Taking care of the.
We got to water Ed.
Has anybody watered the rider lately?
Literally.
Check the food boxes. You got feed? All right, there you go.
Well, we have we really are. I'm blessed. We 6 years ago, I started thinking about this race across America. It's dubbed the world's toughest race. It spans over 3,071 miles, goes through 15 states, 3 deserts, 3 mountain ranges, 175,000 feet of climbing, and then the terrible winds of Kansas, depending on where they hit you. But we're going to go from Oceanside, California to Atlantic City. So last time we talked, it was going to Annapolis, Maryland. But this crew means everything. You can't do this race without a crew. You have to have support. So it's, that not only is it a challenge finding an hour, 3,000 miles, you won't get any sleep. First thing I ask a lot of that, we have three girls. Let me see, 1, 2. No, I'm sorry. We have 4 women on our crew. And I asked them, I said, can you live without makeup? Can you live without a shower? Can you live without sleep? And they're like, oh, hell yeah, we're in. But it's tough. It's, to find these people. And they're just like, no, we want to do this. This is a journey for us. And each, like Anna said, each crew member has a specific job. And without a good crew, I don't make it. And, people say, man, you're going to be riding 3,000 miles. And that's not me. I'm just literally on the bike pedaling. All the things that can go wrong with this race, I'll never even know.
I
it'll
feel
all
like
go
he's
in the-
shifting
yeah,
blame right now.
Yeah.
I feel like he's blame shifting right now. I'm just kidding.
That's preemptive. It's-
Well, we had we've done a lot of Zoom meetings because some of my crew are like I got my crew chief is from Vermont, and other people they work and they just can't get there in time. So we had a lot of meetings on Zoom, and
Right.
we had guests that would come on. One was a guy that completed RAM, and he also wrote a book called A Million Pedal Strokes. His name is Keith Walcott, and his wife was his crew chief. So we'd have them both on there. And the one thing that they said that really made me feel really good, and crew too, is you guys got this. This is all set. Your crew looks like it's a seasoned crew, not a rookie crew. And you got you've got everything covered. And the other one was a race official who, at the end of the race, told Kevin, he says, I swear you must have done this a dozen times, because you've got it together. And we're going to make mistakes. Everybody is, but we're going to go out there. We leave on the 6th of June, and
Wow.
we'll drive out to California, and we'll spend a couple of days in meetings. But
Yeah.
every crew has a media specialist, and Anna was gracious enough to take 17 days of her life and do this, and it's amazing.
And I'm glad she did because I couldn't get away for that long. I'm sorry. I would love to have.
But
I
you're
would
going
love
to
to have
fly
had-
out and meet us, right?
I could have fed the.
Hey, go to
rider
Atlanta.
and
You could have
watered-
watered him.
I could have watered him.
Hey, go to Atlantic City and gamble while I finish.
Don't encourage gambling, but just come to Atlantic City.
I'm putting $100 on Ed.
There you go. There you go.
Finishing or not finishing?
I tell you, it's 12 days.
Yeah.
I love
12
that you
days.
called us a rookie crew. I mean, that you said we're not a rookie crew because we kind of are.
Yeah, that's
Actually,
true,
we're the
too.
underdogs, and I
Yeah.
think that's really. I just realized after watching other racers and other crews how much they have compared to us.
Yeah.
We're underdogs, but we're going to go out there and show America how much spirit a group of people from Mississippi have.
There you go.
And I think about that stuff. I did a little 130 miler yesterday, and I'm thinking to myself, man, can I
A
do
little.
this? Can I make this?
I know. I'm
Look,
sitting here like,
compared to what we're about to do.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You got to do. I've got to do 280 miles a day, and I can do when I'm racing. It's different, but this is a race that you have to save.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're everything's calculated into numbers. My climber is one of my dearest friends from Meridian High. He used to teach calculus, honors calculus, and AP calculus. Now he's at MCC teaching various math courses.
Now you call him your climber?
That's his
Climber,
last name.
yeah, and his job. I mean, other than
He's on the
driving
crew.
and navigating through this 3,000-page book of every turn that you have to take. His job also is to make sure that, hey, you might have to dial it up by, you're going 15 miles an hour. We need 15.6 miles an hour for the next 100 miles, and I'll have to pick it up. Otherwise, we're not going to make the time stations. There are 56 time stations, and 3 of the time stations are what they call hard time stations. That means you got to be there at a certain time, and if you don't, RAM officials will make the decision to pull you off the course and you
cut.
DNF, just like that. And you're talking about the money that goes into these races. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
I tell friends that have done Ironman, they spend $3,000, $4,000, $6,000 to do an Ironman. This is a $35,000 race. We hope it won't exceed that.
Yeah.
And the money that, it's just, anyways, it's a great journey. It's something that we're doing for an incredible cause.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about that cause and talk a little bit more about your equipment. He actually, folks, has one of his cycles, whatever you call them, right here in the studio. It's a Bianchi. I can see it from here. Listen, we'll be right back. Stay with us. That song is actually the opposite of what Ed needs to do in the next couple of weeks.
Hit those time stations.
I thought you need to have a good uphill song, when you're climbing the either the Sierras or the Rockies or the Appalachians.
Those are going to be a beast.
All right.
We did a lot of last year. We did a lot of training for this. We prepared by going out to North Carolina for a week and doing switchbacks.
Oh, good, yeah.
Which was good because I don't do well on descends. Kind of hairy. As I get older, I don't like to go fast down the hills.
Sure.
So we kind of augmented the bike towards like getting disc brakes instead of the normal brakes. So I don't burn up my carbon wheels. We this race is you have to have a qualifier. So Anna was on the, we say rookie crew. A lot of these guys have crewed for me before.
I have crewed one time.
She has.
One
time. We did.
And now I'm ready for the race across America.
Yeah, we did the Natchez Trace 444, which is a qualifier. And you have 44 hours to do the trace. And we did it in 27. So
Was that all the way from Nashville
we went
to Natchez?
To Natchez.
Nash to Natch?
I loved it. I've loved the race. I've
Yeah.
done it 3 times now, and it was a lot of fun and gets me qualified for this. But every year, there was something in the way, with whether it be the COVID, or the lack of funds. But when I was able to attach, because everybody does it for a charity too, to raise funds for the race and then
Sure.
raise funds for the charity. So Kathy Parrish and I were talking one day, and I said, I want to attach my Ram race to Hope Village. What do you think? And all of a sudden, it kind of just blossomed, and I didn't have to do anything.
Right.
I really didn't do anything. They did everything. Casey Culpepper, Kathy, Terry, and Sheila Ward, and everybody behind the scenes have really pushed forward and promoted. And then Anna comes on board, and she's got Elena with her promoting it, and all these other people that are coming out of the
Sure.
woodwork. I mean, you promote this too.
We've been behind you.
Yep.
And
We're not going to get
very
in front of you, but we've been behind you.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing about it. And I wanted to talk about that when we come back. And folks, if you just joined us, Ed Abdullah is here. We're talking about the race across America, which he's about to do. And of course, one of his crew members is here, Anna Hober. She's here with us today. So welcome back to the mics. And of course, you do have the shirt that says "Race for Hope,"
Race for Hope,
which is pretty
right.
cool. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
For
Yep.
Hope Village. I just, those kids up there are just, there's, I was blessed to teach at Meridian High for 10 years, and I got to teach some of those students, and even at West Lauderdale now we have some of the students, and it's wonderful. They come in there, they didn't ask to be put in that situation, and so they find themselves, and then you would, you can easily make them a statistic, but they're not.
Sure.
They come to this place, and what Sheila Ward has done, and everybody that's involved, St. Patrick's and all these other, great organizations, giving their time and their money to Hope Village, has made this place where these kids come in maybe a little broken, but when they leave there, they leave with incredible dignity.
It's also one of Meridian's larger employers. I mean, there's so many things
nobody
about
knows
Hope
that,
Village.
yeah.
It serves all 82 counties of our state. It's not just Lauderdale County.
Wow.
Some of the children, when they graduate from high school, they go live in a transitional house. There's transitional housing, and then they go to college. There are a lot of good stories, success stories from Hope Village right here in Meridian, Mississippi.
We need to have one of those stories on our show.
You should.
Help us
yes.
find a story or two.
Well, they
That'd be
actually
great.
do a newsletter, and sometimes they have stories in the newsletter too. But I
Yeah.
will. I
No,
will
we want some.
definitely
We want
connect
some bodies here to talk to.
you don't want a newspaper to talk to you?
Put some bodies here.
Yeah.
Roger asked for a lot.
Yeah.
Just that way. I'm kind of crazy that way.
That's
They
all right.
had
Roger.
a Christmas program that they do every year, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a thank you to the board members and the guild. Said, hey, we want you to bring your bike up here, and I'm like, okay. So
And wear
You
your
know,
kit.
yeah, so I
Bring your
brought-
bike and wear your kit.
Yeah, wear your kit. But I brought it up there, and we talked a little bit about it, and mainly to the students. They one of them was super excited about the different shifting and all this other stuff. So But at the end, when they were done with their show, they came up and they told me, and I mean, it still gives me chills and makes me, melancholy, want to make me cry, but said that, we will be praying for you every single day when we wake up, that you make it across America. And I'm just like, wow, this.
Well, you know what they did yesterday? They worked on
with
writing
Elena.
a song, Go Ed Go, Go Ed Go. And
Ed, go.
the Max is donating studio time, and the kids are going to go in and record the song. And we're going to use it to
great.
play on some of the media.
We got listener Michelle wants to know what you do listen to when
Yeah.
you're writing. Of course, you said you don't listen to
No,
anything through your
absolutely
earphones,
not.
but tell me, is there any access that you have to
Yeah,
any kind
so-
of motivational music?
Yeah, one of the vans will be set up with a sound system that will pump out some music. I do have communication with the lead van.
With
I
the,
say
with the
lead.
occasional PA system that says, "Pick it up, Ed,
Yeah,
pick it up."
Yeah, probably that. Or Chris Perry has been on every single Ram crew with me, and he's in the Navy. I'm in the Army, so he has a habit of playing Navy songs.
Go,
whenever
Navy,
I'm,
go.
Just really bugs
Yeah.
the fire out of me. But
That would do
it
it.
also motivates me. But no, if you're out there riding, please wear a helmet, and please don't have any of these earbuds in. Good gracious.
It's
dangerous
dangerous.
out there enough. I mean, I have, my bike is
Very
hooked
good
up with-
point.
yeah, it's hooked up with radar, so not that that's going to save me,
Mm-hmm.
but I know when a car is behind me, and I think they flip out when I sit there and I'm telling them that they can go, that I
Yeah.
can see before, and they're like, "How does he know I'm behind him?" I got a Garmin, and
Yeah.
a lot of riders don't use it because those things are extremely expensive. But the
Yeah.
riding that I do, I'm always on the road. So to answer Michelle's question, when I'm riding by myself, I never listen to anything. I don't even have it in my phone.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah.
mean, I've got my phone with me, but I don't listen to any music.
You're doing the mental work.
So there's cyclists out there that actually put the buds in and jam.
Oh, I
and-
promise you.
Oh, yeah.
And when I go to races, that's the first thing they'll say. Hey, take off, do not. Now they're saying, well, you can wear one bud. It's got to be on the right ear so you can hear the traffic on the left. And I'm like, that's ridiculous.
well, there's noise
you
restrictions.
can go mono.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're going through so many different states and cities. There's noise restrictions, and then we're going
that
through
too.
a Navajo reservation. We have to be respectful. So
Sure.
loud music isn't encouraged, and through his ear is dangerous.
But you could do like smoke signals or something.
Yeah.
we can. And
But no, we will listen to. We'll have some. I like to play trivia. So a lot of the guys that'll sit there and play trivia, in the wee hours of the morning. We call it the witching hours, which to me is usually about 3 o'clock to around. I love when it gets just at 5 o'clock because I know it's over. The hallucinations subside. The little
it's a
green
shame.
men. Oh, man. Yeah, but
There's people that actually try to induce those.
Yeah, right.
Look, my cousin back in Connecticut, Robbie Morlock, did this race.
Yeah.
He's done it 5 times, and he's all excited because we'll have 2 family members, we pray, that finish this thing. And he told me, he said, man, hallucinations were really cool for me because everything was colorful. The road was gold. And I'm like, are you serious? He goes, yeah, man, it was beautiful.
Well,
and I'm
man.
like, dude, mine are just, what I had last year, we did the bike around Mississippi.
I remember you tell us about one.
Oh my God! I mean, I had this one vivid in the Delta, and it scared the life out of me. I thought my guys were about to pull me off the bike because they said, "Why are you weaving all over the road? Can you not see this woman? She's in front of me. You won't get out of the way."
oh my gosh! So a part of crew, I'm going to be fighting hallucinations for you.
And like Kathy said, Kathy is just like, I can't believe the dreams you have. I can't believe you remember any of them. I'm like, this stuff,
Yeah.
in the Army, going to Baghdad. I mean, so vivid, like it was real. And people in the back of the Humvee would say, "Hey, Top, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I'm fine. I'm a first sergeant. Shut up. No, I'm not fine. I'm not fine. I mean,
Yeah.
golly.
I don't think that's a question that needs to be asked over the next 12 days after you start racing,
Right.
if you're fine or not, because I think the obvious answer will be let's just try to prop him up as best we can, get him across these mountains and desert and hills and valleys, and get him over to Atlantic City.
That's it.
So, and
all
folks,
of it.
that's really what we're talking about. We're talking about Race Across America, and Ed Abdullah will be the first Mississippian to enter the race, and we are planning on him being the first Mississippian to successfully finish that race.
Yes.
And he's been training. We've talked about this over a year now, And I remember when you first committed, you went public just to make sure that you didn't back out.
That's exactly right.
And
I can thank Dr. George Arrington for that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. We were sitting there playing golf, and I'm putting, and he's sitting there with that long putter, and he's putting, and everybody's coming up. This was the Natchez Trace ride, the first time I ever did it, and everybody's like, "Oh, good luck, good luck. Oh, we're pulling for you," and I'm just, my head is this big, my ego can't fit around my cart. And George Arrington walks over, and I'm waiting. He says, "Hey, come here." And I go walking over. He goes, "You ready for this?" I said, "Oh yeah, I am." I waited for one of these great, like, something philosophical, because he's brilliant. And he looks at me and goes, "You know, if you don't finish, you can't come back." Wow, man! And that's when I got it, and I realized right there, hey man, the more people you tell, and no, I can't. I'm going to sell my bikes, sell my house. I'm going to live in Alaska.
He's going to leave
in
Meridian.
an igloo off the grid.
But that's not going to happen.
No, I hope not. No,
You know, you were also the first Mississippian to complete the Natchez Trace, the 444, and that's
Wait a
historical
minute.
too.
The first Mississippian
Yes, you
to
know,
to complete the Natchez Trace?
I was just as shocked as you, because when he asked me to crew, I thought I was going to meet all these people from Mississippi, but that's not the case. Cyclists come from all over America and other countries to do the 444 because it's a RAM qualifier.
It's a RAM
Gotcha.
qualifier. A lot of people
Gotcha.
that do these ultra cycle races, their one race that they want to do in their lifetime is the RAM. That's it.
Yeah.
Or they do, you know,
I want to do the Trace on my bike. I'm going to try to do that one of these days.
Are you
for-
kidding?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
No, it's great. It's Harley Road
Oh.
King. And
Pedal.
I want to go from
Metal.
Nashville all the way to Natchez on the Road King. That's probably
love
going
it.
to take me a couple days.
Yeah.
Stop, and, enjoy the sights. No, but seriously, this is huge, and we appreciate all the fact that you make a stop by here and let us promote, and also just kind of let the people know what's going on, and to encourage. We want to follow you. We want to be able to, and I don't know if we can post anything or kind of keep up with on our station where you are.
You can call
Anna
in right
can
to the
tell you.
media. I'm here. I'll let you know.
Here's our media
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
We'll have to make sure we have Anna's number before she leaves, so we can.
If you're on the air, I told some others that I'll talk to you while I'm on the bike. And I
Are you
promise,
serious?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's not too much of a distraction or whatever.
Not at all.
Well, and we're going to have a bullhorn. I suspect we'll go live a couple times, and I'll post it publicly before we do.
A
we do,
bullhorn.
where people can ask questions
Yeah.
online, and then we'll ask Ed, and he can.
Yeah.
Well, we have the communication system as well.
Hey,
but
Ed, are you okay?
I want a bullhorn.
I did that one
that's good.
time on the Natchez Trace, and Clint was actually live, and he asked me how I felt. So how do you? And of course,
Yeah, how do you
And he said,
understand?
"Hey," you could see him in the background going, "We're
Yeah.
live," and I'm like, "I'm great." It was like 3 in the morning. No, I'm not great.
wonderful.
But I tell you what, on this
If
race,
this lady would get out of my way, she can
And this crazy
step
lady.
in front of
she
me.
was so real.
I know that's
My
amazing.
Gosh.
She was probably really there, Ed.
Oh my goodness.
We're
She was
gonna-
getting her mail.
There you go.
She
Well,
wouldn't get out of the way.
Rob's suggestion for you for carbing up, because you got to have a lot of carbs to do what you do. So, Rob, where does Ed or all of us go to carb up here in Meridian?
Exit 150, the Magnolia Restaurant.
There
That's
you go.
right. Today's Thursday. Of course, their lunch specials today. How about pot roast?
Yeah.
Hamburger
Potatoes,
steak
carrots,
with
beef.
onion and gravy. They got fried or baked chicken, fried pork chops. The list goes on. Or you can do a vegetable plate. And, of course, a biggie burger with fries also on the menu today as well. They'll start serving lunch at around 10:30. You can always start with a delicious breakfast as well. They're at the Magnolia Restaurant, the Queen City Truck Stop just off of Exit 150. Or you can get it to go plate at 601-482-0259. That is the Magnolia Restaurant, Queen City Truck Stop, where it is Pot Roast Thursday.
Anybody who pays attention to cycling should know that the Race Across America is actually several hundred miles longer than the Tour de France, and that's always kind of a big reference point. People know the Tour de France, but you got to go further than that.
Yeah, theirs is a little over 2,000, and they have 27 days to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Ours is 12 days, 3,071 miles, and once that clock goes on, there's no stopping.
Mm-hmm.
Our terrain is a little more difficult too.
Yeah,
Desert
well,
terrain.
no, those Alps. Ooh, I don't want to go through the Alps. But
The
those
Alps,
guys are, most of the guys that are riding with me, there are 49 soloists, and 4 of them are female female from America, and 6 of them are males from America. I'm one of them. All the rest are from various parts of the world.
So in total, about how many cyclists will we see?
There's going to be a bunch of teams too. They'll
Yeah.
start 3 days after us. They have 9 days, but there'll be teams of 2, 4, 6, and 8. And
They switch off bikes, but they have less time to have to qualify.
They have 9 days to do
Yeah.
it, but they're riding depending on what they're doing.
Well, we just go back to Ed's report card back when he was in school. He's
Sure.
not a team player.
Sure.
He's not a team player.
This is. I told people, they said, "Why don't you get a team?" I said, "Because it's a journey for me. It's
Yeah.
more than just.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with ego. It
Right.
really doesn't. I can tell you, there's a lot of things like in my teaching career that it's about ego at times. Test scores. It's about ego. This is different. This is. I'm riding for, of course, this incredible cause, but there's a lot of, I've spent 26 years in the military. There's a lot of demons I work out as I get older. We all know that because we're getting old. And you start thinking about
Y'all
things. And so.
I haven't been in the military. Where'd my demons come from?
Well, I'm just saying, when you get older, your point of view kind of changes. You become
We don't have
more-
enough time for that, Roger.
Hey, y'all, I think it's
Exactly.
really notable to mention only 178 people have ever completed this race.
Yes.
Wow.
Guess how many have climbed Mount Everest? 1,300.
Mm-hmm.
More people have climbed Mount Everest than
Wow.
completed the race across America.
How about that?
Well, that's interesting to compare. And, of course, again, it's Race Across America, and it starts at Oceanside, California to Atlantic City, New Jersey. And I guess I'm going to ask you this, Ed.
Yes, sir.
What would your wife say? This sounds like the newlywed game, I'm Bob Eubanks
Oh,
here.
no.
But what would your wife say it has been like living with you in recent months or weeks?
Oof.
Has
He
she
doesn't even know the
has she
answer.
noticed a difference, or has she mentioned a difference?
Yeah, Kathy and I talk about this all the time about our relationship and how it's a strain. It's a strain on all my friends. It's a strain, on my workplace. Not because I'm ornery or anything, but it seems like all I've ever talked about for 6 years now is RAM. And and I give credit to my bosses at West Lauderdale and my teaching friends, to my colleagues. They just sit there and they, and I know what they're saying in their head. They're like, "Will you shut up? I don't want to hear about bikes."
It's true.
But like with Kathy and I, it's
What's
like,
with Ed and this RAM thing?
I know we're tired of it. But
Shut up, Ed!
Say Bianchi one more time.
Get back there and teach your students
yeah,
there.
that's it. But Kathy is,
Yeah.
I go to bed at 9 o'clock. I get up at 4:30. I'm on the bike by 6, the
Yeah.
latest, and I'm, and everything's been consumed with that. My son had a real funny story. He was, he graduated this year, but this is years ago when I was training pretty hard. And one Saturday I woke up, I said, "That's it. I'm not doing 100 miles today. I'm going to go. We're going to hang out." And he gets up out of bed and he looks at me and goes, "How come you're not riding today?" I said, "We should spend the day together." He said, "Dad, let me tell you something, honestly." And I said, "Sure." He says, "All the guys on my football team right now think you're really cool and you're a beast. And they don't say anything about you shaving your legs. If you don't make the Natchez Trace 444, they're all going to make fun of me because my dad shaves his legs."
That's it. That's right.
The pressure.
I need you to ride.
There's the pressure.
Yeah.
So I rode that day.
All right, so folks, here's the trade-off from what I'm gathering. Here's going to be the trade-off.
Yeah.
When he's successful, we're going to hear about this the rest of his life. If for some reason he doesn't make it, we'll never hear about it again.
Yeah, I'm going to be living in an igloo in Alaska.
We won't even see him again.
There's the takeaway from that. Right now, if you prefer to ride something other than a bicycle, like maybe a car, a great place to get a deal on an automobile is just up the road in Philadelphia, which for a cyclist like Ed is not very far. Just go up there to
10-minute ride.
Philadelphia to Doc's Toyota.
That's right. Highway 16 West in Philadelphia, or online at docstoyota.com. Of course, they got a new and used inventory there online for you. Great service department that's even open on Saturdays. Of course, they're open on Saturdays from 8 until noon. Of course, they got all the Camrys, Tacomas, 4Runners, Tundras, good pre-owned selection as well. Great sales staff. And, of course, as we always say, there's no deal like a Doc's deal. Call them today at 601-600-3786. That's Site is docstoyota.com for all that inventory. And Roger, say it with me, there's no deal like a Doc's deal. That's right.
I wanted to join in. Next time.
Well, here it is. It's Race Across America. It starts in Oceanside on what day?
For me, it's June 11th.
June 11th.
11th.
All right. So we'll follow you, and we'll kind of keep our listeners posted. And then you've got 12 days to get to Atlantic City.
Right.
Ed, I'm going to tell you this. Make it happen.
Absolutely.
All right? I'm counting on you. I want to brag about you when you get back. No.
Then when
Just got serious in here.
and then when he gets back, you can shave your legs.
Yeah.
Hey, that's an idea.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Well,
Great minds are thinking alike here.
I don't.
I mean,
okay.
you ride a motorcycle, you know.
Look at the time. We're out of time.
Saved by the bell.
All right. Following you on all the ways that we can track you, and we'll try to get you on the show while you're en route. So we're looking forward to that. Best of luck to you. God bless.
Thanks.
Ed
Thank you very
Abdallah
much.
and Anna Hover, thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank y'all.
All right, it's Mornings in Meridian. We'll take a break for Fox News and more. We'll be back. I'm Roger. He's Rob. I ain't shaving nothing. And we're back. Yes. Good conversation off air here. We got to get back on the air and have another good conversation. Glad you're out there, folks, tuned in to Mornings in Meridian. It is the 2 best hours of local live talk radio. Entering the second hour now. Thanks to Ed Abdullah for coming in here and talking about his race across America.
I'm just going to tell you right now, we have a lot of people come on the show, guests from all over the area, but Ed is one of my absolute favorite people ever. He is awesome.
Well,
awesome. Known him for so long and just a good dude.
And I think we should. I've got Anna, of course, Anna Hover coming in. Thank you for doing
absolutely.
that. And she left us a number that we can reach her so that she can reach Ed, and we can talk to him while he's riding.
Fantastic.
He's racing across America.
Yeah, I wish him the best. I hope he finishes.
He's going to finish.
It's going to be a great story.
Ed's going to finish this.
Gonna do it.
I know Ed. He's going to finish it.
That's right.
I tell you what. And so we'll be cheering him on. In the meantime, right now, if you would like to be part of our show, you can give us a call at 601-485-9191. I like the ticker in the studio. It says, jury rehears instructions, key testimony. This is in the case, of course, of Donald Trump. The jury is deliberating.
You know, I was listening to this yesterday. Judge Mershon, Juan Mershon, gives the instructions.
I'm not having him over at all.
No, I don't think anybody is. But they give the jury the instructions yesterday, Roger. It took them an hour and a half. 55-page document, but they could not get a copy of it written. They had to listen to every bit of it verbally. If you're a juror, that's very, very in-depth instructions, so you would imagine they're going to have a lot of questions going ahead. So this verdict could drag out for several days. So
well, and you don't know how much they want to dramatize it and drag it out for what, if there's somebody who's not going to vote guilty, then, how long are they going to try to convince that person? The 12 Angry Men thing.
Oh, gosh,
12
great movie.
12 Angry Jurors.
So good.
But, here's where it's come down in my mind, and you tell me what you think about it. Do they, if you were politically motivated, let's say you're a politically motivated juror, do you convict him to help his chances, or do you find him not guilty to make this go away and stop bolstering his?
Fair assessment, but here's what's going to happen. He is not going to be found. I will be shocked. I think we will all be shocked if he is found not guilty on everything. I think it's going to happen one of two ways. It's going to be a hung jury or it's going to be guilty.
Yeah.
And the White House has already got plans to have a reaction to the verdict, and they are going to be pouncing on a guilty verdict because there is a lot of talk around the White House right now that Biden would do a national address on all the networks, all the cable channels.
Oh, yeah.
After the verdict is announced, because they are foaming at the mouth to use the words convicted felon Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And from this point on, if that is the verdict, guilty, that is going to be used. You could have a drinking game and be drunk in 10 minutes with the amount of times that's going to be used between now and November, if that's the way the verdict goes, which you would have to think you would lean that way simply because of where the jury is at, the jury pool they chose from, the judge, everything that's been stacked against former President Trump. But Roger, he can't leave the building. When the jury is deliberating, he has to be in the courthouse. So him and Don Jr. are in a room yesterday, and they're like live tweeting, like they're doing videos, and they're just sitting there hanging out because he cannot leave the building.
And they love doing that.
And they love
this.
This
is the part they love. I don't think he'll be found guilty. I will be surprised if he is. Hung jury, yes. Yeah, the not guilty, I would be really surprised if it was a unanimous not guilty.
But did you see the way they did? I think that the judge yesterday, when he was giving the instructions about the Cohen testimony, there was a lot of confusion about that. They had sent a note late yesterday afternoon wanting testimony from a couple of witnesses, because you have to remember this trial has gone on for a month and a half, and a lot of the testimony they were wanting to rehear was from way back when this whole thing started. You do have two attorneys that are on the 12-person jury pool. So out of those instructions that came down yesterday, they were probably the only two that really understood them from top to bottom. So you'd have to imagine one of them would obviously be your foreperson, or at least if I was in the room, that's who I'd want to be representing the jury. But still, a 55-page set of instructions you can't even get a physical copy of, and you're having to remember this from the judge explaining it to you, there's no way. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be a lot. The media is all over the story, which they have been from the beginning. But every time a note is passed from the jury to the judge, you shouldn't be shocked, because this is going to happen a lot over the next couple of days. But I would be very surprised if a verdict is in today or tomorrow. The jury doesn't want to have to go through the weekend, because they've been away from family and friends and work and everything for almost 2 months. But it's
you could see like a Friday afternoon.
I could see that,
where they kind of get past the weekly news cycle and push the verdict, and
yeah. I think if a verdict does come this week, it would be late Friday afternoon.
Yeah,
if it happens.
I tend to agree with you on that one. Thinking of how they work,
but if they can't get all on the same page, a judge in most cases, I've heard a lot of the legal experts say this over the last day or so. If they come back and say, "Hey, judge, we cannot come to," and they'll be like, "Hey, get back in there and figure it out." But with this judge and his motivation, how many times is that going to happen? Get back in there. We got to get this figured out. We got to get this. It's just, I don't know.
Well, it's a shame that you have seen a machine that has reared its ugly head and has really just singled out a political candidate. And this machine, as well, or how disjointed it may be, or how well put together, however it is, it's just a concerted effort. I mean, it's an illustration to anybody else who says, "I'm going to go to Washington and clean up the swamp." If you go to Washington with that word, with that phrase, with that intent, then and you have the means and wherewith. Because then people who years before used to put their arm around you and say, "Hey, buddy boy, good to meet you," now are going to say, everything they can to try to discredit you and even incriminate you. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. How you doing today?
Oh, good morning, Lefty here.
Hello, Lefty.
Lefty, you don't have to
you don't for too much longer, Lefty.
You don't have to introduce yourself. We know who you are when you call in.
Oh, y'all know it. Okay.
we recognize
we
recognize the voice.
You recognize the voice. Okay.
It's Lefty, and you're always going to be
on the radio, and I'm like, do I really sound like that? Like,
yeah.
I'm almost like Gomer.
Shazam. Well,
I should know it as soon as I get on the radio. Somebody's trying to call me. Got 3 more beeps, y'all, and it'll quit.
Okay. Well, what's on your mind this morning, Lefty?
2. Well, y'all are sitting there talking about the trial and everything.
Yeah.
And my question is, who should have precluded this judge from even being the judge when he is a donor to the Democratic Party? Now, if that doesn't compromise somebody's slant on justice, I don't know what does.
Well, yeah.
And on top of that, his daughter is supposed to be a higher up in the Democratic. I mean, good Lord! But who should have stepped in and said, no, you can't be the judge in this trial if you've done this, which you have. Would it have been the DOJ or Merrick Garland? Do nothing, Merrick Garland. I mean, who should have stepped in and said, we got to have an impartial judge for this? Have y'all got any idea? Because I sure don't.
Yeah.
Whoever it is, they ain't done nothing.
Well, and during the entire trial, whenever the defense, that being obviously Trump's attorneys, whenever they would try to object to any kind of testimony, every single time they would be overruled. Every single time by the judge. I mean, there's so many instances where that alone, if it goes to an appeal process and he's found guilty, that should be a slam dunk and it'd be thrown out on appeal just from those actions alone.
Yeah. I agree. But, y'all, this is exactly what goes on in communist countries and third world banana republics is you eliminate your competition. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. It's just as plain as day.
Well, right now, the Biden campaign is going to do two things going ahead. If he is found guilty, like I said a few moments ago, they're going to say convicted felon Donald Trump. Because right now, if you look at it, before we cross that bridge, if we have to, this is a campaign that is doing nothing but putting fear into people. If Trump gets elected, democracy is going to be eliminated. He's going to take over the world. It's just
that
like
was so ridiculous.
It's
Just
fear.
like he did 4 years ago.
But that's all they have to play on is fear, fear, and fear. Because if they went on their record, there's no record to run on.
That's exactly right.
So,
all right. Well, there you have it, my friend.
Before I go, did y'all hear there's been over 30,000 Chinese nationalists that have crossed the border just this year?
Yep, sure have.
30,000.
Well, now
That's more than half the population of Meridian, for goodness.
Well, that's why I just opened up my new chopstick business.
What was that old joke? How do they name their children? Get all the silverware in the house and throw it up in the air, and when it comes down, ting, tang, 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 tang.
Oh, gosh.
That's how they name their children.
Well,
I don't care.
That's all right.
Funny.
I got you. Well, no, it's I do like Chinese food, so I guess that's a good thing.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, they're doing
I
something
like
right.
all kinds of food. I don't care what country it comes from. But,
All right.
Yeah, you got that.
anyway,
You got that seafood diet. See it and eat it.
Amen.
Well, I just had to call in about that because it seems so ironic. You know, they got this man trying to grill him, and look what Biden did when he was vice president with his do-nothing drug addict son, and that doesn't even come to it doesn't even make the news anymore. Why isn't that man being grilled on that?
Well, and I don't even think at this point his law-breaking son even shouldn't be a factor. Just the competency and the coherency of the president himself should be an issue.
I guess when
should
you're
be the
in power,
issue.
you can appoint things like this to be done. I guess I don't know.
Well, and I can guarantee you one thing before we let you go. Remember this. If this verdict drags out, the Democrats may be okay with that because remember, starting next week, Hunter Biden is going to be in court for that federal gun charge. So they're hoping.
I'll take anybody's money that he won't be convicted and he won't serve a day.
But as far as the news cycle goes,
Kind of a detractor.
They want the Trump thing to drag out that way. All of our focus is on that, and nobody's talking about Hunter Biden's trial.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. Okay, y'all, I'm listening in and waiting for the Has to give us his blessing for the day if he's got time.
All right. Appreciate that. Thanks for the phone call.
Yeah, have a good one.
See you.
All right, let's talk about one of our sponsors there, Rob.
Absolutely. Talk about a good American, a good representative for our area. Well, he's got a good business as well. That's Billy Adam Calvert.
Southern Business Supply.
Southern Business Supply, that's right. Just across the way from the Wayman Newell Bridge on Dale Drive. Go by and see Billy Adam Calvert and his family. Of course, locally family-owned and operated business for approaching 40 years. Good sales staff, combined experience, 125 and counting. How about that? Servicing all of Meridian and Lauderdale County and surrounding areas. They carry office supplies, janitorial supplies, 5-gallon spring water coolers, break room supplies. They got a full line of office furniture, home office furniture. They even have an in-house decorator as well. So they got a showroom full of stuff you can go check out. They even offer next-day delivery, and they even have a website where you can check out stuff at southernbusinesssupply.com. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 601-485-2447. That's 485-2447. Buy local, folks, because we always say that here at Mornings in Meridian because that money stays right here in Meridian, Lauderdale County. And say no to the big box stores and say a big yes and a thumbs up to Southern Business Supply. Dale Drive, right across from the Wayman Newell Bridge.
All right. All right, we're going to join the last remarks of the listen in on Donald Trump as he's giving some live remarks up there in New York right now.
Okay.
The millions and millions of dollars that are spent daily on this case. Outside, it looks like it's Fort Knox, like they're guarding this. I've never seen so many policemen. Now, with Columbia University, you can plant a tent right in front of the main door, no problem. NYU, just put your tent up. Don't worry about it. Over here. But I just want to say that this is a very sad day for America. The whole world is watching. And it's a very sad day for New York. I've gone through 2 of these trials already. It's with the same kind of a judge. It's all worked. It's all rigged. The whole thing, the whole system is rigged. Judge Engoron was overturned 5 times in my case, and he's going to be overturned again. And we were treated very, very badly. And outside world is watching, and the outside world is just not going to bring their business to New York, and that's going to cost the city trillions and the state trillions and trillions of dollars. Businesses are leaving, and people are fleeing. So you can see the quotes yourself, and thank you all very much. We'll comment later on in the evening, but we'll be here, it looks like a long time. Thank you.
All right. Of course, he was reading a lot of quotes that going on during the time we were talking to Lefty. But
did you hear what he said yesterday? I think it was when he was before they started deliberating. What did he say? Mother Teresa couldn't beat these charges. I was like, what a great line.
I love it. Let's take another phone call. 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning.
Trump's already guilty, so when they going to put on all the policemen in Meridian, when they get up position, get filled on patrolmen?
Now, wait a minute. Let me make sure. You said the police in Meridian do what now?
We'll get up policemen on the street in Meridian, instead of putting cameras in the police down there watching,
Okay. Oh, you're saying when we're going to put money to hire police instead of the cameras that they're putting up?
Yeah, because Trump's going to be found guilty just like he didn't get to be president,
Yeah, yeah. So you're saying you're expecting a guilty verdict?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
If Biden's going around saying he can't wait to talk about it, he's guilty.
Well.
No.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how this plays out. But does that eliminate him from running if he is a convicted felon?
He will basically, this will go on appeal.
Yeah.
It'll go to an appellate judge there in New York, and if not, go to the highest court in the land, and that appeal process could take months, if not a couple of years.
His bottom line is like this: you can run for president before Trump will ever be elected.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, man, but this country's already communist. Run.
So you're saying they need to hire police to put on the streets of Meridian because of this verdict, or just changing topics?
Just because we need police on the street.
Just we need more police.
Or
Yeah.
either take the gangs and put them at every exit coming into Meridian to collect money for the city.
Have the gangs collected money. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, put them at every exit.
There's a thought.
In and out. Here,
I know we've heard it, and there are different levels, but I know we've heard that there's 60+ different gangs in our city, and I'm wondering how in the world does a small town like Meridian, and we are a small town. I mean, we're now we're moving. So how do you just tell the gangs no tolerance? You're not going to set up here. You're not going to be organized here. We will send you out of town or whatever. How do you do that? Is that even possible?
I don't even know, man. I think we all need to move out and move back in when they leave.
Well, they'll just follow you back in.
Yeah, I know.
You got to have somebody. You got to have somebody that's going to have a what's best for Meridian mentality rather than just let's see what we can do to get by.
Well, at least you can get a police chief that can find your radio station.
Hey, she found it once.
Yeah, she was late.
15 minutes late.
Yeah.
Man, what if I was laying out there on the street and I needed a mayor,
Well, now, yeah, I guess I can kind of feel that. I realize that anytime somebody from the city comes on, it's only because they have the blessing of the mayor to do so. So,
well, I understand him in either, because didn't he used to be a policeman?
Sure. Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And he has told Rob that he does need to come on the show.
Yeah,
so
I actually saw the mayor Monday down at the Memorial Day event, and he actually approached me, and we talked for a couple of moments, and I said, Mayor, we need to get you back on the show. He said, oh, I know. So
need to get him on, check his honesty.
Oh, he didn't say he wanted to. He just said, yeah, he needed you. He was responding to you. Okay.
You could ask him.
And he'll come on, Jimmy. If we get Jimmy, he'll come on here. He'll talk with us.
He used to be a pretty good guy. I don't know what he's like nowadays.
Well, that's what they said about everybody that became a mayor. They were pretty good guys.
God,
they used to say that about John Robert Smith. He's a pretty good guy.
Pretty good guy, mayor.
They used to say that about Sherry Berry.
They used to say that about you. You used to be a pretty good radio announcer till you got this job.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. Hey, you got a good voice. Hey, when they gonna get him off of there?
They can do it any better as Billy Jack, right?
There you go. That's right. Hey, we got to get this break in. Thank you for the call. We appreciate you.
Have a good one, buddy.
Thank you. We'll be right back. Every once in a while, you just got to put some Dwight Yoakam on the record player.
That's a good one.
Notice I said record player. Remember those days, don't you, folks? Stack them up and turn it on.
And now you go.
Now you have to start music with your finger, just kind of swipe up on your device or whatever.
Hey, Alexa.
Hey, Alicia. Now you remind me of that Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
That's great. Mornings in Meridian. Glad you're out there tuned in. Want you to be part of the show. Our number, 601-485-9191. Big thank you to Adam Carmichael and Adam McCree for running a good business right here in Meridian, right there on 22nd Avenue, Sela Ward Parkway. And, of course, it's called A&A Glass.
That's right. 601-693-GLASS, 601-693-4527. And I tell you what, Adam and Adam have been doing a marvelous job for 10 years plus running now of getting those rock picks fixed on your windshield, or maybe just doing a complete windshield replacement. They'll work with the insurance companies as well. Stop by, they'll give you a free estimate, and they'll beat any price in the area. And of course, Adam and Adam have a great staff down there as well. Any make or model, no problem, they'll get it done for you. But yeah, that insurance process is very, very easy. It takes just a couple of moments, and I tell you what, they get things repaired pretty quick, like too, especially those rock picks. And they got awesome looking t-shirts there inside the shop as well. They're open right now till 4 o'clock this afternoon. Go by and see them and dodge those raindrops, and go there at 217 22nd Avenue, or as the cool kids at ALT like to say, 217 Sela Ward Calhoun Parkway. That is 601-693-GLASS. I know I shouldn't have done it again, but I just can't help myself.
It's a bad habit.
Yeah, I'm just going to get a thing of tape and just go down there and tape it on the sign.
We'll get another street, and we'll name it the Ward Calhoun Parkway.
Yeah. Ward Calhoun Boulevard.
Yeah.
Way. Parkway. Yeah. I like the Parkway better.
Well, then you're going to have to spend another $1.5 million to make it a parkway, whatever street you decide.
Street.
Put a sidewalk over the bridge, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah, don't forget your sidewalk.
I know what you're going to say.
Where the sidewalk ends.
And the traffic light starts. Mornings in Meridian. Let's take a phone call. Good morning. Welcome to our show.
Good morning, guys. I've come in peace. Love everybody.
Love.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Mississippi James, how are you?
All right, doing all right. Now, Roger, how many different games did you just announce that was in Meridian?
60 some.
60?
60.
Oh, man, I got some work to do.
You're behind schedule.
Hey, way behind if it's that many there.
Yeah. And that's not my numbers. That's what I got from a law enforcement agency here in Lauderdale County.
Okay. I'm going to have to dig a little deeper because my number's still in the single digit that I've reached out and talked to.
A lot of them out there.
Well, you can't talk to everybody, James.
Hey, man, I'm going to try to get them to talking to each other. That's my goal, you know me.
Well, they were talking to each other out on 39 the other day when they shot into that business.
Yeah, wrong kind of talking there.
Yeah, they were talking to each other up on North Hill Street when they were doing that exchange there. They talking, they're communicating. Let's put it that way.
Wrong kind, wrong kind.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep, we want it on the positive side, not on the negative side. Yep. Well, all right, you guys have a good day. Just heard you say that, and I said, did he say 60? Yeah.
Well, I'll recheck my numbers. I'm going to recheck my source, but that's what I remember from a discussion from a couple of years ago.
Okay, and then I guess it depends on how they break them down.
Oh yeah,
to say what is a game, you know. But you got your little hierarchy there that controls so many sectors. So,
you got your B's and your wannabes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a good day.
Thank you, James.
I appreciate it.
All right, 601-485-9191. Yeah, I can check those numbers.
A couple of things I did not get a chance to cover yesterday about the city council meeting on Tuesday. There was another item that was approved on the agenda. Council members did approve a contract with Weaver Management Group to cut grass on the interstate interchanges, which span more than 400 acres. Assistant Public Works Director Mike Van Zant said the city bid out the work, estimating about 10 cuts per season, which works out to be one cut every 3 weeks. Weaver Management's bid, are you ready for this? $169 per acre, with the cost to the city being per year estimated at $775,000 plus for this. This year's cost is expected to be more around the $620,000 mark, since the city has already parted the way through the grass cutting season, kind of part way right now. But that was voted in favor of that 3-2. Mr. Norwood and Mr. Davis voted no on that. And by the way, I did not give you the voting numbers yesterday on the training. The folks are coming in to do this training with city leaders, the Transform Now group. The council voted 401 for that approval of the training, the $90,000 cost. Mr. Thomas voted present in that 401 vote. And Roger, I got a breakdown of what this is all about. Transform Now explained that the training will have 3 distinct goals to help improve communication within the city's workforce. The first goal is to evaluate and meet the city's management where they are at. After the initial assessment, a training program can be tailored to meet the city's needs. The second goal is crisis communication and how to handle unexpected situations in leadership position. And finally, this group called Transform Now will work to create a pipeline within the city's ranks. So that's the phases of this $90,000 per year with this Transform Now.
All right. I was listening, but just like the jury in New York, I'd like to have could I have a review of those instructions,
Well,
sir?
I'm not going to go back and review them, but it's just.
I mean, just the basically, you said the 3 points that they're trying to do.
First goal is to evaluate and meet the city's management where they are at. After the initial assessment, a training program can be tailored to meet the city's needs.
Okay.
Second goal is crisis communication, how to handle unexpected situations in a leadership position.
Crisis communication.
And finally,
okay,
they will work to create a pipeline within the city's ranks to build new leaders to carry the city's work going forward. Now, Dr. Thomas brought up this very important
build
point.
a pipeline.
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
But-
no. I want to hear what Dr. Thomas
Yeah.
says, but let's evaluate this. They want to evaluate. They'll come in and they'll evaluate what you need, then teach what you need, then help you to keep communicating what you got, what they taught.
And the price tag is $90,000 per year.
Evaluate, teach, and then keep. Okay, I'm getting the picture here what they're trying to do. But now, what did Dr. Thomas say?
He said he thinks the training is a good idea, but it's not the right time. He says all 5 city council members are up for re-election along with the mayor next year.
That's right. We're a year out from
We're
election.
a year out from election
A little
time.
over a year, yeah.
The time to undertake such a leadership program is at the beginning of the 4-year term.
Now that I've served the city for 3 years,
I think it's a good point.
I'd like to learn now how to do it.
Yeah.
That's
It makes sense, doesn't
I
it?
love that point.
I mean,
I think that's exactly dead on.
Yeah.
Good on there, Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that we're coming to the end of our terms, we want to learn what we're doing.
Well, I mean, when you look
and learn how to communicate with each other.
But when you look at the price tag for this, Roger, I mean, he's got a point. They're getting near the end of their terms here.
Yeah.
And to the taxpayers in Meridian, Mississippi, when you see a price tag of $90,000, you're like, good grief, man.
That's Charlie Brown.
Mm-hmm.
He used to say good grief a lot.
Good grief.
Good grief.
So yeah, those are the things that were approved there. That $90,000 for this training, and then of course the grass cutting contract, $775,000 per year was estimated.
Now I will say there is a lot of grass,
absolutely,
around Meridian when it comes to these intersections. I'm assuming it means on the thoroughfares.
Yeah, the way it was explained in the article today in the Meridian Star, it was the
I'm guessing
to cut the grass on the interstate interchanges, which span more than 400 acres.
Yeah.
So in reality, I mean, they're understaffed right now in that department. They're going to contract this out. It's $169 per acre when it comes down to it. And like I said, they're halfway done with this year's grass cutting season. So right now, price tag is going to be about $620,000 for this year.
But what that doesn't say is how often will the grass be cut for that $750,000? Because I would be interested. Then that's where you know whether you're getting the deal or not. Is how many times it's going to be cut.
Well, David Hodge went on to say in this article here, he says, outsourcing grass cutting has been discussed for several years as the city's public works crews struggle to keep up with the workload during the summer months. An estimate of what it would cost the city to do a similar job as Weaver came out to be about $1.5 million. So if you didn't contract it out, you did it with the folks you have currently in house. It would cost you $1.5 million. When you contract it out, you're going to save a little bit of money, obviously.
So you're saying they can do it for half if you contract it out. But I'm, if you're talking about twice a year, come through there and wipe down those weeds, and that's not mowing. I mean, keeping it looking good, you'd have to do more than that. So I don't know how. I'd like to know the frequency.
Yeah. So
they're going to do that.
Yeah, council members voted 4-1 to transfer $620,000 plus of that back to Public Works to pay for the new contract. The only person that voted against that action was Ms. Walker. She said she wanted to give back the full $760,000 and have whatever isn't spent carry through to next year. The contract ultimately, when it all was said and done, 3-2 is the vote to approve the amount.
Grass cutting.
So the grass cutting.
So we pretty much have summarized what happened in the city council.
Well, and of
grass
course,
cutting, training the leadership, and
of course, we talked about it briefly yesterday. Them wanting to build the Meridian Police Department, the Real-Time Crime Center, which that has been tabled until the work session on June the 4th, until they can get someone from the architectural firm to come in there to the work session and explain that a little better of what that's going to entail. The Real-Time Crime Center with the cameras.
Yeah, man, I got my wheels turning now. I'm sitting there thinking
The Real-Time Crime Center.
Real time. We could maybe, with that money, they could maybe sponsor our studio here or something.
It's the Real-Time Crime Center update.
All right. Here at Mornings in Meridian at the Real-Time Crime Center studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. It's got a little ring to it. Real-Time Crime Center.
Yeah, but that one right there that's going to be a little bit more of a complex discussion, obviously, when it comes to that, because they want to put that Real-Time Crime Center for the cameras to monitor. I know how you love how I say that. Next door there by the police department. So.
And now, when we walk through this door, folks, you're going to see cameras. They're being monitored. This is our Real-Time Crime Center. We like to watch our crimes go down in real time.
Yeah.
We can't identify who's doing it, and we can't arrest who's doing it, but we do like to see it going down in real time.
Where's the folks at to patrol the streets at? Why can't we use that money there?
Well, let's see. I get out in the heat on the beat, or do I get a nice air-conditioned room to watch cameras? Oh, never mind. Okay, that's all right. Be fair. All right, hey, we're out now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be ugly this morning.
Oh, that's the best way to be.
We'll take a break. We'll be back. We want to hear from you. Our number 601-485-9191.
It's the Real-Time Radio Studio.
All right, we're going to take a real-time break so that we can get some real-time money to pay for these bills around here. Okay, welcome to the Real Time Crime Studio. I'm sorry. I mean, it just the situation begged for that.
Yeah.
Put a little Rockwell out there.
If you feel it, you do it.
You do it. Is that what you do?
That's how I live it.
I don't know. We kind of preach against that in the church.
When it comes to here, I always say, if you feel it,
do it. I was just thinking somebody's watching me. That's a nice, that's what we're going to do in that real-time crime lab. Real-time crime
Center.
That's what it is. All right, there you go.
Where's they had an acronym for it? I think it was the RTCC.
The RTCC. That's probably going to be better if they just use that instead of using the Real-Time Crime Center, because if you're able to see crime in real time, you should be able to. I would be interested in the Real-Time Arrest Center.
That'd be nice.
If you want to see the crime in real time, then let's arrest them in real time. While it's going down, sir.
Please.
While it's going down. It's Mornings in Meridian. We want to hear from you. 601-485-9191. Put you right here in the studio with us. If you want to give us a call, we won't mind that. How we doing on our sponsors, bro?
We got one more to go.
Barber and Son Plumbing.
Barber.
The plumbing used by pirates.
That's right.
Good folks down
Absolutely. 1123 26th Avenue in Meridian. Of course, Gary is the plumbing expert. And plus, folks, when you work with Barber & Sons, you're going with a good local company, whether it's for you do-it-yourselfers out there or if you leak a lot of confidence like a lot of folks do when it comes to plumbing. Well, Gary can put you on the straight and narrow because he is that expert. He's got all those plumbing parts you can imagine down there. If he doesn't have something in stock, he can get it for you pretty quick like. So go by and see him there at the corner of 1123 26th Avenue. Or call them ahead of time at 601-482-7023. Of course, Barber & Sons, third generation. I mean, they have been in our area for a good number of years. Of course, Gayla Gartman, great staff down there. Call them today at 601-482-7023. When it comes to plumbing, the first name that should come to mind, Barber. Absolutely.
That's right. It's Mornings in Meridian, 601-485-9191. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, true American patriots.
We thought you'd slept in this morning.
Well, I did a little.
Gotcha.
But I think the citizens of Meridian, instead of a real-time crime center, the citizens of Meridian would like a real police chief and a real Meridian Police Department.
Ooh.
You know, that seems to be what we need. You know, the cameras and all the technology and the drone and all this Mickey Mouse. Let's put boots on the ground. Let's do it the old-time way that seemed to work. The criminals are not scared of the cameras, man. You know, they have them in these stores and everything, and they don't prevent crime. They don't stop crime. They just annotate the crime. But they're not scared of these cameras. And they're not scared of the MPD. They're not scared of prosecution or apprehension, I should say. And then the criminal system is a joke. The house across the street, I saw black and white out there yesterday, and some guys over there working. Guy walks over. I'm out there hacking some bushes in the flower bed. Asked me if I had security cameras. I said, no, I don't have any. Well, they had padlocked the door of this house. They had broken in, gone into the attic, and cut all the wiring out.
Wow.
Yeah, so the big crime center, that will help stop that. And has any of the cameras that they already got out there, the little shot spotters and, has any of that ever stopped a crime or helped prosecute a crime? But yet we're gonna do more. We're gonna put more. Put boots on the ground, guns on the belt, and take a bite out of crime.
Ruff.
You know, we have shootings here. You know, had a couple other night.
Those are gangs communicating with each other.
Yeah, that's it. They shot signals. But it's like the children are in charge of the asylum or something. It's at the local, it's at the state, it's at the federal level. It is a one sad joke. And the citizens are the ones paying the price. We're paying it not financially only, but in safety and security and everything else.
And now they're going to have $90,000 per year for training in the upper parts of the government.
Leadership training.
Leadership training.
Leadership training at the end of their term, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to get this last year right.
But, you know, you look at the sheriff's department, what are they doing a great job?
Amen.
Because they've got people that are dedicated to that profession, and they've got good leadership, and Ward Calhoun is the sheriff of Lauderdale County.
I want to take just a second. Yeah. I want to take a second, though. And I've heard this from firsthand reports, there are some really good, courteous, professional police officers out there. I don't want to throw the whole police department under the bus, because there are some good officers out there wearing
I got one
blue.
that lives right down the road from me. Good fellow.
So I do want to interject that, Has.
We need something that works, and whatever we're doing now is not working.
Mm-hmm.
It's not stopping. It's not abating the crime. It's not doing it. So the real-time crime center, $90,000 a year training.
Yeah.
Well, we got money wasted.
We got to go. So if you could wrap it up, we'd appreciate. Oh, that's a wrap up right there.
There we go.
Thank you for that. A little late getting in there, Has, but sorry, we got to get out of here because it is almost 9 o'clock. Glenn Beck's looking at the window saying, "Get out."
It's Fun Friday tomorrow.
Oh, good. Is Ann McKee coming in tomorrow?
Maybe.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll have some other fun stuff. Maybe we'll get a verdict. No, we're not. That's too much to ask.
Too much.
All right. Well, we'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, God bless and
bye local.